Hi, I'm Derek, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to handle difficult construction clients. You know the ones that stress you out, keep you up at night, constantly calling, are super OCD with the details, possibly late on payments, and are convinced that they know how to do your job better than you. So, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 different points of how to handle difficult construction clients. Regardless of what happens, sooner or later in business, you're going to run into clients that are just difficult, a little bit out of the ordinary, need extra special attention. So I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 ways to help you deal with those. First of all, a great book called Upstream. And the premise of the book is that if you have a problem, look upstream, right? How can you solve the problem before it becomes a problem or it becomes an issue? So preventative, right? So prevent during prospecting. When you're prospecting, if red flags are coming up, maybe you have a certain number of questions that you could ask early on in the sales conversation or before you sign an agreement, just to kind of get a feel for how they're going to react, how their relationship is going to be when you're working together. And then after they've signed the agreement, you're going to work together. Make sure that you have some sort of onboarding document, some sort of what to expect, a welcome letter, and just set up that trust right away. Tell them, you know what, we're going to be in your home. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be dusty. We're going to do our best to clean, but ultimately this is a renovation. It's going to be invasive inside your home. There's going to be some stress involved. There may be some things, back and forth that may come up, not to alarm you, but just to get it out in the open. Be honest and transparent. That's the best policy. If you do that up front, start the relationship right, it's going to help you so much as the things go along. There's always that point in a renovation, in a build where things are taking longer, or there's a lot of activity up front and then the finishing comes and it drags on. So let them know what to expect right up front, and that'll save tons of headaches later on. So point number 2 is get your head right. It can get emotional. You're dealing with a lot of different clients, and if you have one problem client, that can bleed into your family life or your other clients. It can bring you down. So do what you got to do. If you got to go for a walk or a drive or get a beer or coffee or whatever, meditate, yoga, calm down, try to avoid the arguments, and just remember that you need to be positive. You need to have your customer service in place, and just keep reiterating that you're on the same team as them. You're not two parties fighting about whatever came up, if there's a problem, or maybe it's a money thing with the budget or whatever. Just remind them that you're on the same team. Like, I had a client once who was a great guy, but just needed tons of detail, and he was quite knowledgeable. So he really needed to, really be involved with everything that went on, and like, what about this? What about that? And it just created a lot of communication and a lot of bit of frustration, because he's talking with the trades that are on site, and I wasn't able to know what's really going on because he's too involved and this and that. So eventually we got to a place later on in the project where we're much closer eye to eye. We both understood each other, and we had multiple conversations. And I invite you to do this with your clients. If you feel things are kind of going off the rails, or the client's kind of getting a little bit out of control as far as what they're asking for and needing, and then you can see the trust kind of eroding, bring it back up. Call them and just say, hey, you know what? I feel like things are kind of getting a little bit out of hand. I am, struggling a little bit with keeping track of everything that you're asking for, and whatever, just be open and honest, and just set some not boundaries, but set some a level of what's acceptable, I guess, for communication. If this comes up, do you want me to tell you? What do you find acceptable, what not? And just get that base level down so that you know what they want and the level of communication involvement. And also set boundaries with yourself of what, for me to manage and run your project profitably, stay on budget, and get things done, I need you to take a little bit of a backseat. I need all information to go through me, or whatever, be upfront and honest and work through it. So that's number 2, get your head right. Number 3, hyper communicate. So go above and beyond to communicate. And if something bad happens, whatever it is, you messed up, budget's screwed, the guy, totally dropped the ball and now we're behind a week, call the client, tell them right away, hey, you know what? I don't like to be, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I messed up, or my guy messed up, or this, I didn't account for. Tell them right away. 95% of the time, even if it's bad news or something that they may get upset about, if you've come to them right away and been honest and transparent, it's going to diffuse it. They're going to at least respect you and want to work with you because they know you're being honest and you're not hiding anything. Once they kind of feel like you're maybe hiding things or trying to smooth stuff out without them knowing, then that trust just goes down and everything gets blown to shit. So make sure you tell them bad news right away, super honest, and then just hyper communicate, keep them updated. I like Friday updates, so on Friday or whenever, tell them what's going to be happening for the next week, tell them what you did, keep them on track, communicate, emails, calls, whatever you need to do. If they feel in the loop, hyper communicate until they tell you whoa, I don't need you to be telling me all this stuff, what's going on. I trust you, do the job, get it done, just give me an update here and there. That may come up, but that's number 3. So moving on, number 4, don't get left holding the bag. So if things are going south and you really don't have any ability to kind of mend things or whatever, you don't want to be left holding the bag, as in you don't want to be out a bunch of money and not be able to come to terms with what's going on the site or with the client, or maybe something came up in their life and whatever happens, right? So you make sure you keep proper documents for change orders, budgets, lots of communication. Keep that documented, more than just phone calls. Send an email after, hey, we talked about this and this and this. Sometimes things get miscommunicated, so make sure it's in writing. Make sure you get a deposit up front and that you're invoicing regularly, so that you are not out money or materials or labor, and all of a sudden the clients, something happens to them, or they're unable to pay, or you can't come to terms and they don't want you to be on site anymore, or whatever, that you are at least able to settle financially and not be out that money and have them holding that payment over your head at the end of the job. So you want to minimize liability. Enough said on that. So that's the number 4. Don't get left holding the bag. Make sure you always have some money in the bank from the client so that you can finish the job and not be held back by payments. Number 5, super easy, right at the end. When you're going through hell, keep on going. That's by Winston Churchill. I hope it never gets to this point, but if things aren't going well and it's just not working out, just keep going. Know there's brighter days ahead, and just do your best. If you had good intentions, that's all you can ask for, that you meant well, maybe things didn't go well for you or for the client or whatever. Just keep going, get the job done. You follow these 5 steps, you should have no problem at all. Number 1 is really the most important, is set up the expectations, go upstream, get it sorted before it becomes an issue. Hope this has helped you. Check out the description below. Free course on how to systematize your business, build out proper processes and systems like client orientation, client what to expect documents, client prospecting questionnaires, all those systems that help your business run and operate and function without your constant attention. So you're not stressed out, you're not running around like crazy, trying to manage something from going off the tracks. You got a smooth running business, that's what it's all about. So again, check out the description, get signed up, free course, free resource for you. Here's to the best of your contracting business, and may all your clients be happy, healthy, and wealthy.